Hello and welcome to my channel, Retro Rides Rendezvous. My name is Larry and today we are fitting my 1951 Ford with headlight relays. Here's a standard 4-pin automotive relay, and this one has a fuse installed. This is basically just a switch that is operated by the headlight switch, which I know doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But it does make sense because what we're trying to do is put a low amount of amperage through the headlight switch and a lot less draw on the way to the headlights. So what happens here is the wires that go to the headlight now will be spliced and they'll go to the relay, and they will control the relay turning on and off, and then the relay has power coming in directly from the battery or directly from the starter, which is basically directly from the battery. When that relay is activated by the headlight switch, it will allow power directly through to the headlights. We will need two of these because we have low beams and high beams. So here I am explaining how the pins work, and I have no idea how the numbering convention came to be. The numbers are 85, 87, 86, and 30. That's how they're conventionally numbered. Number 85 goes directly to ground. 87 goes to the headlights. 86 comes from the headlight switch, and 30 comes directly from the battery or power source. This is why the relay has a built-in fuse. When the light switch is activated, it comes in through number 86, and that goes through a coil that's connected on the other end to ground, which basically makes an electromagnet. That magnet closes a set of points, just like you used to have in your distributor. Once those points are closed, it allows the power coming in from the battery to go through number 87 out to the headlights. Now here's the relay with the cover taken off. You can see the coil I just mentioned. The power comes into the unit and goes through the fuse and into the body of the relay. That part of the body is insulated from the rest of the unit. Here the power just waits until the headlight switch is pulled and the contact closes. So again, just a switch. Here you can see the points that make the contact and allow the power go through to the headlights. Here I've cut the wires that are going to the headlights so they can be reattached to the relay. I made this little bracket on my 3D printer that I can bolt the relays to, and then easily just screw it a firewall or a panel. Here it is, with the relays installed, ready to be mounted and soldered into the wiring harness. As you can see, there's two relays, one for high and one for low beams. Now all that's left to do is solder the wires in. The red wires will go directly to the battery. The black wire will go to ground. And then the other two wires, blue and white, will be spliced into the circuit for the headlights.
That comes from the switch, and just cut it and connect one wire from each side to the wires going into the relay. And of course it's going to be the right side, so we have to figure it out here, but it's all good.
Here are the relays mounted, and I'm about to solder in the wires. I used a little heat shrink to make sure that they're insulated and won't touch anything or each other. What caused me to want to put the relays in my car is I had a little incident a couple weeks ago where I was out at night and the headlights just went out. By pulling on and off on the headlight switch, I could make them come back on for a second. So I knew it was likely a headlight switch issue. I replaced the switch and everything went back to working just fine. I didn't see any burning of the switch or wires, so it's probably okay, but I felt there was a reason why it must have went bad, possibly too much amperage. So putting these relays in will solve the problem of having too much amperage going through the switch itself, and it'll have the added benefit of making sure that the headlights are as bright as possible because the power comes directly from the battery to the headlights. And the headlights. Here I'm both turning them on and testing the high beams. Everything works now. I hope this helps some with understanding how relays work, the reason for them, and hopefully making it easier to install them. Thanks for watching.